Hello and welcome back to Awakening to Your Story TV, the place to learn, get inspired, and be supported with heart-centered solutions for your everyday problems. I'm your host, author, emotional heart expert, and self-love enthusiast, Alicia Hartzell. Today we're going to talk about 3 steps that you can take to dramatically reduce fear. Our question is this: Dear Alicia, everything feels so volatile out in the world right now. I find myself sitting in fear more than I used to. I want to make an impact and move through my life multiplying all of the love and possibility that I know is true, but the fear is getting in the way. How do I reduce my fear in this volatile environment? Signed, Wanting More Than Fear. Okay, I have 3 steps I want to share with you that always help me when it comes to fear. But before I share them, I want to talk to you about fear versus love. Every thought, action, or human impetus within you comes from either love or fear. This is the alignment of divine source energy of love or the resistance to it. Think of it like an energy source that you actually plug into. When you are plugged into that energy source, it flows through the experience. That thought, action, interaction, or anything that springs from you, it holds that very energy. So when you are plugged into fear, you create and breed energy of fear. And when you are plugged into love, you create and breed the energy of love. Now, here's the part that I really want to bring your attention to. Even if you are creating or sharing something that feels right and true to you, if it is plugged into the energy of fear, it breeds fear. You see this a lot right now. People plugged into fear, communicating and interacting with others, saying all of the right things, but breeding fear that comes across as upheaval, anger, aggression, and all of those things that you walk away from feeling really bad. It doesn't matter what is being said, the energy behind it is what will be felt. You know, your body even sends you signals to help you know what you're plugged into. If you are surging with adrenaline, your heart rate is up, or you feel anxious or fatigued, you are probably plugged into fear. Now, when you get goosebumps and you have that sense of ease and you can breathe freely and you find yourself smiling, you're probably plugged into the source energy of love. Okay, now that we have that point of reference down for the energy behind the things that you're experiencing, let's get right to reducing the fear. The 3 steps to reduce fear are: own your truth, be solution-oriented, and stay focused. Number 1 is knowing your truth. Anytime you encounter fear, it is an opportunity to own your truth. And I mean fear in any form. Use whatever point of fear is present as information to help you illustrate the truth that's on the other side. As you create a deeper ownership for your truth, you will find that it creates an opportunity to plug back into that divine source energy of love. So let's take that volatility that you mentioned in your question earlier. If volatility is part of the information that doesn't feel good to you right now, and it is causing you to plug into that energy of fear, then what's the truth on the other side of the volatility? Just get curious and start moving your thoughts in the direction of love. Start by looking for words that are complete opposite to the volatility. Maybe it's peaceful, alignment, harmony, stable, calm. A lot of things come to mind. Then think about the divine source energy of love and what is true and is woven into your humanity by your divinity. Isn't source energy always working to help you and support you? Aren't you an extension of that source energy? And as an extension of source energy, don't you have the ability to flow with it rather than against it in any given moment? When you find your alignment, can't you feel that energy of love flowing through you? Doesn't that offer you stability or a place to breathe into peace? Now, once you start reaching for those kinds of thoughts, you unplug from the fear and you start bringing your truth to the forefront of your thinking. I really like pulling out a couple of I am mantra style truths so that it's really easy to reach for when those sneaky fears try to creep back in. Like, I am an extension of source energy. I am in alignment and in harmony with the divine source energy of love. I am a conduit of peace. Now, it's super personal, so find the ones that soothe your heart and then keep reaching for them. That is how you own your truth. You keep choosing it even when those thoughts of fear come in, knocking at your mind. And this leads us to number 2. Number 2 is be solution-oriented. Plug into love with your truth as your point of reference, and you can fall right into step 2. Through the energy of fear, we get focused on the problem rather than the solution. Fear wants to keep you replaying the problem over and over again in your head. But through the energy of love, you can shift your focus and become solution-oriented. So if the problem is volatility and you know your truth is harmony and alignment with that energy of love, then how can you create that solution out of it? How do you bring more of that truth to your life? Start for yourself and then take it out and share it with the table of humanity. Get curious and creative, and as you express and create from that place of love and truth, you breed more love. So if your truth is, I am an extension of source energy, I am in alignment and in harmony with the divine source energy of love, and I am a conduit of peace, then start to think about how you show up in this way. Maybe a solution to the volatility is making sure you spend time plugged into that energy every day. Maybe a solution is to go out and be in nature every day so that you can feel just how plugged into love you are. Maybe a solution could be going out and being a conduit of peace in your community. You get where I'm going with this, right? Being solution focused. And this leads us to number 3, staying focused. Now, try not to get distracted by all of the noise of fear. I know it can be hard, but you can do it. Use whatever fear you need to, as it gives you the language to find your truth, but then stay focused on what you want, your truth, your solutions, and how you want to feel and who you want to be. When you know it from the inside of your being out, everything changes. This is not from the place of fighting the illusion of fear that someone else's humanity put in front of you. That fight means you are still in resistance, still focused on whatever the wrong thing is that is plugged into fear. This deep knowing comes from your soul and source, and it floods your humanity. It comes in with those goosebumps as it washes over every cell of your being. It comes in with unwavering focus and holds true to that energy of love. This kind of knowing that I'm talking about makes the world bend to that divine truth within you. If something new comes in, acknowledge it, and then double down on what it is you want to create in its place. Try not to let it pull you into a loop of fear. Focus is everything, because where you focus is where you end up. I know, it's not as easy as it sounds, but keep reaching for your truth and keep coming back to the energy of love. Now, some people may look at this as having a Pollyanna complex. But let me ask you this. What good is it doing you to focus on the volatility? When you do, that is what you end up taking with you, is all that negative energy, and you make it your own. You know what I'm talking about. You have felt it. That's why you asked the question that you did. The volatility and fear created by other people is holding your focus, and it feels terrible. Wouldn't you rather acknowledge their wrongness and then focus on your rightness, on the truth, and on all the energy that is there? That truth holds way more power anyway. When you express truth through the energy of fear, it still breeds fear. But when you express the truth through the divine source energy of love, you breed love and all of the miracle-making components that it holds. Remember, 1, 2, 3. Own your truth, be solution-oriented, and stay focused. You do not have to stay in the suffering or be plugged into the fear. Know that divine source energy of love is always an option for you, because love is who you are. And know that until next time, I am holding a place of love for you, where your peace and alignment with that source energy of love, well, it's undeniable. For more support, information, and inspiration, join me at awakeningtoyourstory.com.